I get my inspiration technically everywhere. It's other people, it's their art. Sometimes it's architecture, sometimes it's just the nature. I think in texture, in color, in shape, I always have some kind of a vision of a work, and it's all in the process.
Compulsion, obsession are drivers of her process. There's something very radical and almost disturbing in the act of covering this really meticulously embroidered surface. And she alludes to this in the titles of each of her work, which somehow refer to an unquiet mental state. Hence the title of the exhibition, Chromological Disorder.
My grandmas, both of them, were quite the feminist icons. The grandma in particular who left me her collection of threads used to have a high rank in the Soviet Union. She was a boss. And the threads that were left to me, that was a completely different side of her that I uncovered much later when she was unfortunately passed. Right now I'm just using just a little piece of one thread, just a fraction of it to run out of that resource, and every piece has a little bit of my grandma in it.
Her works are deceitfully aesthetic. At first glance, they're very pleasing to the eye, almost calming in the uniformity of color. But a second look reveals a lot more depth. And it's really only when looking at the back of the canvas where we see the messiness of the underpinnings, the embroidered stitches, the cut threads.
Like here you can see the actual colors that I used in the threads. And it's a completely different story.
In some ways, these works are a reflection on the feminine within a patriarchal society, both in her aestheticization of the surface, but also in the use of embroidery as a practice, being traditionally a female domestic craft. Mary is somehow elevating that to fine art in a kind of a quiet rebellion.
The series has changed in scale, I think, in the techniques, in the mediums I use, in the colors I use, in the types of colors I use. I don't think I'm finished yet. There's a lot of untouched ground. I want to uncover new scales, both physically and metaphorically. I want to try everything I can and to keep it all in this same flow, I guess, and see where it takes me.